So when Harvest was rebranded from its previous name, Le Gallery, the reason we went with the name Harvest was we wanted to transform this outside patio space with outdoor seating into some type of garden that students would be able to grow and produce produce from to create a sustainable farm-to-table experience at Harvest. So to understand what our students knew about farm-to-table, we asked them a few questions about farm-to-table, and here are some of the responses we got from them. What can you tell us about farm-to-table? What do you know about it?
Farm to table is a concept that you only use local ingredients to cook, to promote, to increase not only the flavor of your own ingredients, but also to support local business and help communities thrive.
I don't really know anything about it. It's when you grow your own food and vegetables, and then you bring it to your kitchen, and then you make it, and then you serve it.
Not much, really. I'm not really sure.
Have you ever grown your own produce?
I've tried to, but it hasn't ended up well.
I actually have. I've grown my own tomatoes.
No, my mom.
Your mom has your
I
mom.
think my mom has, but not.
No, my grandma grows her own vegetables though.
All right, Chef, what does farm to table mean to you?
So farm to table is, to me, all about getting the freshest ingredients, the freshest produce, everything that you could possibly get locally sourced. It's all about sustainability, less carbon footprint going around, changing your menu according to what is in season. So if we can't get pineapples here in Indiana, maybe we shouldn't be getting them all the time, year round, and start thinking about what is grown in Indiana locally in our backyards. Other farmers around us. It's all about supplying or getting supplies from everywhere closest to us.
And the last question is, what is your hope and expectation for whatever's developed for that outside Harvest garden area?
I would love to see, obviously, a garden that we could have a farm-to-table menu here in Harvest. Obviously, it's a little bit harder year-round to grow things in Indiana all the time. Who knows what the limitations are out there with lighting, your soil, everything. That's obviously all up to you guys, what you want to do with that. But what we would like to see is as much farm-to-table food. So as much produce, herbs, anything that we can grow, even if it's edible flowers, things that we could do that could make our presentation nicer. Anything that we could do to utilize the materials in the space we have here to put on our menu and use for catering events or just for our day-to-day operations here in Harvest.
As you can see from student responses, as well as Chef Erin Gillen's response to what she feels farm to table should be, you can tell we have many different levels of understanding of farm to table, as well as many different perspectives of what farm to table is. For me, farm to table is the ability to do just that. Take local food from local farms or local resources. Doesn't necessarily have to be produce. Maybe we have a local cheesemaker, a local butcher, a local cattleman, a local dairy producer, and using those local ingredients in order to create the best product for our guests. And the idea of this is to be first sustainable, but also to promote growth within your local businesses. So the challenge I pose to you is, how do we take that outdoor seating area with limited growing space and limited light and create a garden that is going to accomplish a couple things. First, it needs to produce so that students can understand the process from seed to table and know where their food comes from. Second, it needs to be educational. It needs to be a teaching garden so that not only your class, but my class and other classes can utilize that resource to understand the plant life cycle. And third, it needs to be aesthetically pleasing. Once again, we are a restaurant open to the public, so we don't want a garden space that is going to deter guests from wanting to dine at our facility. So your goal, or your task I task you with, is to design this space to be educational, have production value for Harvest Restaurant, and be very aesthetically pleasing for our guests. Good luck.